Hello, it's Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and you guys, it has been quite a week, quite a set of weeks, and I wanted to get on and talk with you today about some things that you can do if you are essentially forced into, or you are accidentally placed into, or you are currently having to homeschool and you've never done it before, and you are now in a position where you have to get it done. Because while the cherubs are home during this time when schools are closed, they need to have something to do. Hey Angie, thanks for joining. They need to have something to do. They need to have some structure. And you're probably wondering, where do I start? Now, just a little bit of background about us and our family. We have been homeschooling for essentially the entire time our children have been in the educational system, right? So they have been homeschooled since kindergarten, pre-K. And we both work, so it's very interesting how we are able to do it. Hey Heather, thanks for joining. It takes some work on our part, and it is totally worth it. So we could look at this situation. Oh, I know. I know. It's fortuitous. Obviously not planned. That it turns out that because of our experience at homeschooling, like this situation where the children are home, it's not really that big a deal for us, but we understand that it is a big deal for those of us who don't do this normally. And you probably are kind of wheeling and wondering, like, what can you do? How can you get the day going? How can you get them the things that they need? And the first place to really start, hey Rachel, thanks for joining. Hey Lori, thanks for joining. The first place to start is looking at the school district's website. So a lot of school districts are going to have home learning plans set up, and it's going to be grade based. So they've done the heavy lifting for you. They have this set up usually for children that are having alternative learning plans or have to be out of school for a little bit. So it definitely comes in handy and is very useful for us during this time. So if you're looking for structure, if you're looking for a pattern or a plan for the didactics, then that is the first place that you look, is at your school district's website, and look for their learning plans that you can adapt, that your child can use. Hey Shruti, thanks for joining. Hey Monique, thanks for joining. So that is the first place to look. So once you have that and you have a plan, then you can start thinking about how are you going to divvy up the day, right? So for us, we have a pretty set way of doing things, but we've also been doing it for a number of years. So, we know very intimately learning patterns are, and what time of day they do well, and all of that stuff. So if you're just not sure, if you don't know like where to start, oh yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Heather, for putting that up there. Hey Starkeisha, thanks for joining. And so like I said, the first thing is to look at the school district's website. They usually have learning plans on there. If you do not find what you need there, hey Jennifer, thanks for joining. If you do not find what you need there, then another option is you can check Khan Academy. So Khan, like, Genghis Khan, it's spelled Kahn. Khan Academy is a tremendous free educational resource that's online, and you can look for subject matter for your age group of child, and you can have all of that didactics done via an online method. The teachers on there are excellent, so you will get great quality from that. Hey Juti, thanks for joining. And so that's another option. If you want to, if you looked at your school district's website and you've not found a good plan that you're satisfied with, and you've looked at Khan Academy and you haven't found what you need there, then of course there are other options. So you actually can go and look at whole curricula that are produced by homeschool companies. So we, for example, use Calvert. We use Calvert homeschooling curricula, and we have used that for a number of years, but there are several out there. There are so many that have been well vetted and established. And so, there are a lot of options. But we're kind of in an interesting time because the school year is coming to an end very shortly. So I'm not sure if getting a whole is going to be advantageous. I would say definitely check your school's website, the district's website, and Khan Academy, and supplement your work for the remaining portions of the year that way. So Calvert is Alvert. Thank you. So that is the second thing. So divvying up the day, how do you do that? So the first thing is when they're at home, they are more likely to require breaks, right? So I would probably commit maybe 2 hours of work a day. And I would say that I would do increments of, 45 minutes of work and then 10-minute break. And that could be just getting up, jumping around, running around the basement. For us, it's running around the basement, running around, and then getting back to work. And that will allow for them to integrate exercise into their day, and it's going to sharpen their ability to have, the best cognitive outcome. Hey, Dana, thanks for joining. And so that's what I would suggest. Now, it gets better and it gets more efficient as you go along because, they're very used to a structure that's very different than going to experience at home. They're used to a very rich that is a longer day. So if you are able to get them to get the information in a shorter time span with active breaks in between, then they will start to get more and more efficient as things go along. Absolutely. Exercise on breaks will sharpen their focus. Absolutely, Heather. Thank you for pointing that out. So those are the two things. So you want to have, and so you can structure, based on the lessons. So for example, for us, we do a subject and we have a specific day in which we do that subject. On Monday, we typically do math. We have math Mondays. And so we'll do like a week's worth of math or more sometimes during that day's timing of work. And we have Tuesday, we have science. Wednesday, we have social studies. We usually don't do any work on Thursdays because we would typically be going to homeschool co-op, which, by the way, is not because of obvious reasons, social distancing. And then Friday, we would do English language arts. So basically, you can structure it however you'd like, but that is one way in which you can do it. Otherwise, you can do each subject over the course of the week if you'd like as well. But I think the children really like it when we focus on that one subject because then they look forward to, Math Monday, and then they know they're going to be doing their math, and then they'll, they kind of have a theme that they look forward to. So it helps them. It helps them to be excited about learning and to be very comfortable with, getting into a new routine. So we said so far, check with your school district about learning plans. We also said that if you do not find that, there are options like Khan Academy. And then we also said that you can also look at homeschool curricula, and there are a myriad of them out there. We personally use Calvert, Calvert, homeschool curriculum. We also said that setting up a schedule or some form of structure. So you either can do a subject, can do one subject per day, or you can spread it out over the course of the day. Very important. You have, some shorter amounts of time in which they're doing their didactic work, and then having active breaks where they can boost their cognitive absorption by the other thing that I was going to tell you guys is that you want to have an area in your home that is the quote unquote school area. So for us, oh my gosh, typically it is their desk. So they have several desks. They have a big workstation desk in the classroom or schoolroom, which, sometimes they use, sometimes they don't use. And then they have another set of desks that are out in our like den area. And so, they'll wherever they feel comfortable, wherever they would like to, wherever you feel like they're going to get the best bang for their buck as far as their learning, then that's the place. But it could be the kitchen table, it could be the reading nook, wherever. But having a place that is designated as the school area makes all the difference, because it's a mind shift, right? It makes them shift their mind from play or sleep or whatever it is to here I am going to learn. So definitely having that. And then at the very end of the school day is having a little wrap up, saying, how is it going? What do we get done? For us, it's very, it's kind of like all over the place because of our work schedules. But oftentimes we'll get to it in the evening and we'll say, how did it go today? What have you done? How can we help you? And it helps them to kind of put a closure to their day and to be able to move forward in a very positive way. So the last thing I'm going to say is have a lot of grace, okay? Have a lot of grace for yourself, for your cherubs, because it is not an easy thing to make an abrupt transition from having a child going to school every day and then having a child being home and then being responsible for their education. So it's huge. So have grace for yourself, have grace for your cherubs, because it's needed. I will tell you that we've been doing this for a number of years and we still have to implement grace. We still do. So I hope that this was helpful. Hey, Katie, thanks for joining. I hope this was helpful. And I know that we are all going to get through this, and we are strong, and our children are going to be very resilient, because they are. And, so if you have any questions about this, if there's anything I can help with, again, we have our experiences is our experience, but we have learned some things over the years that we can definitely share. So if you have questions, definitely hit me up. Thanks for joining live. If you're watching the replay, definitely let me know that you're watching the replay. And I know that we're gonna do awesome with this, and it'll be just fine. All right. So this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and I hope that you will be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.